Finally, the depth of Dallin's soul. It's interesting because I feel like the depths of my soul, I have been feeling like they are like not beautiful sometimes. I don't know. Just a mixed bag. I don't know. But what I've been doing is I've listened to like, I don't know, maybe 100 of the podcast things that I do to myself each day where I just talk. And I realized like all these days when I was super happy, like super, super, super happy, like Pizza Hut, life was good. Like I got a bunch of tips and then I got a free pizza and then I got to do this. And I was like, this was Dallin's life. It was good. It was good. And I was like, holy cow, dude. It's like, at the end of the Bible, like Genesis, it's like God made this and it was good. Like I am good and I am good enough. And listening to all these recordings was really like, okay, you know what? I've been told this over and over again that I'm good enough. But finally listening to these recordings really is like hit me. I can hear the part of Dallin that's so excited for life, that is working towards his dreams, that wants everything for future Dallin, but then somehow falls short. And that's okay. I hear how hard he is trying. I hear that he is, just struggling and is like reaching out to all these people. I'm like, Dallin, take a break, my guy. Like I was like this one recording, it was just like I was going all over the place and I didn't need to. I just wanted to help people. I'm like, okay, how could this guy possibly be a bad person or something, So it's been really humbling, especially with so many of the recordings. I'm like, dude, if I just listen to that a bunch of times, I feel like I could get out of anything. Because it's just so pure, so powerful. Like this is like the most raw journal I have. There's like probably 900 recordings from college I have on here, and they're super priceless. And it's funny because I will do the habit of just like recording and I'll just start talking, but the habit of like listening to them hasn't really stuck in like super powerfully. But I'm like, okay, no more. We're going to like listen to all of the recordings from like each month, and there's ones I want to go back to consistently. And it's just really important to remind yourself like of the good you've done. Sometimes when you're in the moment, I don't know why it happens to me, but I don't know, sure if it happens to you, but sometimes in the present moment, I'm like, I feel like I've never done any good in my life. Like I have, but I'm like, I feel like I'm starting from zero. Like none of that really super duper matters ish. And so like if I mess up today, then it's like I'm a bad person, period. And it's such an irrational thought. But just when you have stress and you have all these other things, it's hard to kick the irrational thoughts out, because it's like a house that's like getting moved around all day long. And you have these guys, they're just kind of hanging out and they're like chilling and they're vibing. And I'm like trying to kick them out and they're just so hard to reach. But, my soul is pretty deep. And I'm sure yours is pretty deep too. There's a lot of really wonderful things in my soul. And I could obviously go on a lot more about this. And I didn't want this to be super self-centered-y. But seriously, like, there's a lot of good. And like, I'll listen to some of those recordings and I'm like, okay, like, clearly Dallin's thoughts are not him. Clearly Dallin's feelings are not him either. He is what he's chosen to be. And in all of these recordings, pretty much every single one, he's like, I'm going to trust God. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep learning. I love life. I'm going to keep going. And it's like, okay, that's inspiring, as opposed to maybe the couple times where I fell short and was struggling and was just rough. It was rough. But, kind of going back to the it's good thing, like it's good. It's God made it. It was good. The God made you. You were good. You are good, And so just going back to that, not trying to, silver line or black line anything with like, okay, yeah, Dallin was good, but remember it led to this. So oof, Dallin, oof, no black lining anything. It's like, this was good. Dallin was good. He was trying, he fell short. Dallin is good and he's going to do good things. And when he doesn't do super wonderful good things, that's okay. Cause we all fall short, and like, that's something I heard on the recordings too. It's like, I tried so hard at this thing, and it's just like, wow, Dallin, I feel that. I feel that because that was me. We went through that thing together. So I don't know. I've really gotten to love myself a lot more over the last couple weeks, and a lot of that has just been listening to like all of these recordings, like unfathomable, honestly, just crazy. And it's like, well, it's really cool because like it literally, with some of them, I literally am brought back to that moment. It's a beautiful thing. I get to like just literally go back, and it's just really cool. And you just be like, wow, that's so cool. I get to see Dallin doing this thing. And then I'm taking back to the now, and I'm like, holy cow, Dallin is a wonderful person. It's like the Pensieve. When Harry looks in the Pensieve and he sees Hagrid, and he just has this new feeling for Hagrid that he's never had before. Like, oh, Hagrid, what the heck? Hagrid, like, what happened? What happened, Hagrid? That was like 50 years ago, but I want to know in the present moment, what happened, Hagrid? I want to help you. And so it just really pushed away a lot of the murkiness, any of the weakness or waters of weakness or clarity, or I don't know what I'm saying. It washed away a lot of terrible stuff, like these like absolutely terrible, like, I don't know, thoughts and lines and whatever. It really just pushed a lot of those away. Like, this is the truth. This is Dallin. This is who he is. He's a good person, And so I was really able to just accept that. And, just be like, sure, I've messed up on some things and haven't kept some promises of like finishing certain things, but I'm still a good person. I still deserve to have a good life, So, yeah, that was a very powerful conclusion. And I feel like I've already made that conclusion many times before, but in this moment, that was what I needed, was realizing my soul is very deep and it's very good. And the farther we go, there's so much good in there, and it's all worth keeping. We don't need to chuck any of the good that Dallin's ever done. Like, if you could listen to some of these recordings, they're like, okay, wow, these are actually super good. And it's because I recorded so many before I even started this podcast, so it's like, yeah, Dallin is really good. Like, okay, yeah, no doubt at all.